Hello, it's Melissa from Simply Vintage, and I am here just to show you a couple of examples of how to make some fabulous little miniature rosettes. And these are brilliant little stash busters of anything you've got lying around in the house, some ribbons, laces, fabric that you've torn up, and they make gorgeous little decorations, brooches, all sorts for every kind of craft, from your soft crafts, stitching, even through to adding to your journaling and your cards. So these are the little examples, but we'll take those away for now. And I'm going to start off with a piece of my fabric. This is just a polycotton that I've torn into a strip about 2 centimetres wide by which is about an inch, just under an inch by about 9 inches. So I've then taken regular needle, some regular cotton, anything that you've got hanging around, and you're going to double it up and knot the end. Just makes it a bit stronger and it makes it easier to secure it at the bottom corner. So we're going to start off at the bottom right corner, about 1/2 centimetre in, and before you pull it all the way through, just catch the knot. So you've basically secured that, anchored that onto the end. And then it is a simple running stitch or gathering stitch all the way along. And we're going to go all the way along the same distance from the edge. Doesn't matter how long or short your stitches are, as you get used to doing them. If you do tiny stitches, you get a really tight gathered rosette. Larger stitches, obviously you get quite a loose rosette. And the longer the ribbon, the longer the piece of fabric does have a difference. So you've got all the way to the end. We're going to pull that all the way through. And so you're left with that kind of a look. And it's gathered itself up nicely. Sometimes the fabrics will turn around and twist, but we want to get it to the stage where it's all one way round. Then we're going to take both ends, hold both ends there, and you're going to bring them together so that you've joined the circle. And then take your needle again, and on those, just on those corners, I'm going to go through and stitch them together. You can be as neat or as messy as you like, because this is all going to be covered over. So I've done a couple of little securing stitches, snip that off, turn it over, and then what we've got is a lovely rosette, all nice and pleated. Now you can tidy up the edges, you can hide those, you can iron them flat and they'll give you a lovely look. That's that one, but I'll show you with a bit of ribbon now, I think. And this again is about 1 centimetre ribbon, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. It's kind of a grosgrain ribbon, so it's got those lovely ridges, and this will act very differently. So I've just caught the knot again and I've pulled it through, and we're going to do exactly the same thing all the way along. You can sit and do a ton of these out of your stash, and then you'll have them for however long, for any projects that you've got going on. And they're just nice and relaxing to do. So I've done the same thing again, pull it all the way through, make sure it's all the same side. So you've got one edge going along here, bring them together. You've got the 2 edges, there we go. Just pull that so you can see I've got both edges, and I'm going to pull that tight and secure that through with a knot. A couple of times just to make sure. Snip, turn over, and again you've got a lovely little rosette. Different because this is quite a stiff grosgrain type ribbon. It's taken on a completely different shape. And the final one is some nice nylon, and that is just over 10 inches. I'm going to do the same thing again. Go in and all the way along the bottom. Now you can, I'm moving the fabric over the needle on this because it's how I've kind of got used to doing them, but obviously you can do it by putting the needle through the fabric like this if you're, but once you get used to doing them, you'll find your own way of doing it, whichever is more comfortable for you. So all the way to the edge. I'll turn this one inside so the right sides are together, so that it, let's find the edge first, shall we? There we go, there's the edge. Put those together. As you've got hold of them, just give it a little pull, brings it together. Secure at the top. Now this is quite a wide one, so you want to have a little look before you snip it off this time, and actually I'm going to catch that all the way down so that it's complete. So keeping them together, I'm just going to do a couple of really simple stitches all the way down. It will be covered by the gathers, so it doesn't hugely matter. There we go. And then just over stitch it at the end with a knot, and we're done. So turn it over, and they have a lovely wide rosette, and these are perfect. You can layer them up to make a brooch. Have all three together with a button in the middle. There's straight away you've got a lovely little rosette brooch. But I'll show a couple of quick samples before I disappear. And this is just one of the hoops that I make. I just sit and stitch. And I've used them with vintage lace. We've got some old fabrics, different textures of fabrics, some little, I think that was a silk ribbon that I used there. So it's just incorporating them into any kind of project you've got going on. And this one is a lovely little brooch that I made with a fab doggy button. And just simple, they just make such a difference to any projects. And some little ribbon here as well that I made, just adding some of those lovely little rosettes. So I hope you like that, and I'll see you on the next one.